there are lots of stories in Scripture, but one that's really drawing me in, or one that really helped me as I discerned this new call, was the story of Abraham welcoming those angels who were in the form of some men who were just stopping by for rest that day. Or as Abraham invited them to stop and take a rest, and of course invited Sarah to bake the finest bread for them and give them a place of rest. He did not know that he was really entertaining angels at the time, but he did it. And he did what was a mandate: to welcome the stranger, to receive those who are on the journey. And this place, everybody's on a journey. It could be you're in transit, or you can certainly be returning home, or coming here for the very first time, or even a concession stand worker who is here every day. We are on a journey. And as a word of peace, or a word of greeting, a word of care, or even a smile or a handshake is extended, that brings that peace and joy and understanding that God is certainly here as well. And God is in the midst of us. And it is God's work in which we're engaged in. And that is what keeps me going here. This was a funny story. About 3 weeks ago, I was meeting one of the staff who was in another store downstairs, and I said hi to her. Her name was Annie. She was introducing me to the person at the attendant at the store that day, and the person who she was introducing me to already knew who I was, and so we had this great exchange. Like, okay, this is the pastor from upstairs, as Annie was introducing me to Sister Denise, and I said to her, "But you look familiar, Sister Denise." I don't know. So it was we passed it off as a joke, but this is how it is here. Although it's a wide community, you can still find 2 and 3 after a while, as you get familiar with them, knowing them by first names, knowing what they're about here, and also finding out what they're doing in their lives. Because I'm going to give you a little bit about Annie's story. She's the first couple of times we met and we talked, she's looking for a second job within the airport community, because most of them are part-time based, and of course without benefits and without lots of the other fringes that comes with a full-time job. But she was looking for a second job. But her second job, or the job that she wants to get into, requires a driver's license. And so she's been trying to get her driver's license now for the last couple of months. So every time I would see her, she would say, "You know, I didn't make it the last time." So I said, "Well, you have to try again and think about what you're doing." But it's not just spiritual care. It's the whole care of the person, and how a word of encouragement in what they're doing or what they're seeking, it really brings out the best in them. And a simple word of encouragement can be the difference between shut off totally and also to hear a word of encouragement to pick you up and keep you moving and going forward into the next step. So it's what I've been called to do, and I think I do it very naturally, and I don't think coming right out of the seminary I would have been able to function in this role as easily as I do right now, because it certainly takes a lot of people and interrelational skills to really function in this capacity as a chaplain or as a community minister.